Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the NECA Robocop versus the Terminator Robocop rocket launcher. A branched out expansion from the original NES Robocop that we got from the folks over at NECA Toys. NECA has now decided to release these figures in a Robocop vs. Terminator treatment. I'm a big fan of Robocop vs. Terminator. I love the comics. The games possibly weren't the greatest of games. Yes, I admit that. But I love the fact that NECA continues to look at properties that they already have and find interesting ways to reapproach it. They've done so well with the NES treatment figures that to now see Robocop vs. Terminator, I'm super excited. Robocop featured down below in an 8-bit pixelized version. Robocop also looks like he comes with multiple different weapons. Flame attachments, which I'm not sure are removable or not, but we'll find out when we get this guy out of packaging. As for which, the back of the packaging features scenic work. I wish they would release this backdrop. They don't release a lot of backdrop sets, but there's Robocop kind of taken from a realistic approach from the screen grab of the game. It says, in the crumbling ruins of a world under siege, man-machine meets machine-man as legendary Robocops, cyborgs, clash to decide the fate of the Earth. To check out more from the folks over at NECA Toys, you can head over to www.necaonline.com. Spot's going to take a break and get this guy opened up. When we come back, we're getting a better look at Robocop rocket launcher. There's more anyway, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. When you get the Robocop out of packaging, you are treated to several different accessories, one of which being the largest of accessories, this rocket launcher. The rocket launcher, as well as the smaller gun I'll show you guys in a second, are all given the same paint treatment that Robocop is featured in as well. A lighter blue, a darker blue, a little bit of purple there, and all shaded as if it has been taken from the game. Additional things to note as well are little shine marks indicated on the barrels. Once again, just driving home that this is something that looks like it's been taken right out of the game. It appears, looking at this, that this section, yes it does, in fact open up. That you could put, well, you can't really put the rocket in there, but kind of giving you the idea that you could. You kind of have really Robocop kind of hinging this open as if he's going to be loading it again with the next grenade. This closes up like that, and then also you get yourself a missile. Given that same light blue, a little bit of a darker purple in the end, but the barrel has like a fire treatment paint to it. A really nice touch. And lastly, at least from the standpoint of the rocket launcher, you also get a propelled fire sculpt. Little fire attachment. You can take this plugs just into place like that, and then the end of the rocket has a little hole. Take that, peg that into place, and then you've instantly got Robocop as if he's firing off one of the rockets. Gorgeous looking touch. I'm not certain if actually NECA does a lot of fire attachments. This could be perhaps one of the first. But I like that. That's translucent plastic that they've included. So you get that. We'll put that just down to the side for a second. And then you also get this, which is just like a little handgun for Robocop. It very much looks like an updated, revamped Auto 9, one of his trusty sidearms there. But also painted to the same coloring as Robocop. This one's given a little more darker of a coloring, including with more of the purple than the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher is more lighter in color, just really more the darker blue and purple down by the handle. The majority of the gun here is given that more purple completely around the gun itself, and still has a little shine indications there. Also a nice touch. We'll put that down to the side, and then of course that brings us to Robocop. I really like this figure. Answer to your question, yes, by the way. The fire attachments are not removable. They've been adhered to Robocop himself. Really though, I mean, if you have the NES Robocop, which sadly at the time that I'm reviewing this, I still haven't picked up the NES Robocop, and I hope to do so in the near future. So if you have that NES Robocop, the fact that this one has fire on it is not a problem at all, because, you know, of course you could have different versions of Robocop displayed on your shelf. Now, this really makes me fall in love with the NES Robocop. Even more reasons I want to pick it up for sure. He is basically the original non-holstered, non-spring holstered version of the figure, painted of course in the dark blue, the light blue, and purple treatments, and then also adhered this rubbery flame attachments, which are very pliable. The flames aren't something that's going to break or anything like that. It also has that same translucency that is featured on the rocket launcher there. I continue to kind of turn it around because you can see the front has Robocop more so in light blue, dark blue accents around the areas, like the little armored areas of his suit. Little white highlights is a great touch, the little white treatment highlights there. But then the back of him is mostly purple. There are a few highlight points now replaced by light purple versus the light white that's on the front there. But it really just gives it that sense of depth. Because in the game, like the front of the Robocop in the game was this light blue. The back of it was more of a darker color. And NECA really translated that well to a figure form. His face is also really cool because his face has the reflection of the light from the fire that's being emitted from his torso there. There's a little bit of the highlight on the back of his helmet too, and some of that, the orange color, carries over to areas of his armor too. Right here, right around the shoulder area, and right around the top torso area there. All of it comes together really well. His face is less realistic because they've gone with a really bright pink color for his mouth, but then given him this darker, almost a purplish flesh colored around the mouth area there as well. But all of it giving that classic vintage look to it. Articulation on Robocop is the same as the original Robocop, so he's got a ball joint in the head, ball hinge socket shoulders, which a little bit stiffer, but they do rotate forward and back out. He has a bend in the elbow, swivel in the wrists, or swivel in really like this section right here, his forearm area. He doesn't also come with the data link. He doesn't come with the data link because, of course, he's just going to be holding his weapons. Swivel in the waist. He's got the torso, upper torso crunch, and then the legs go forward, back, out via a ball hinge joint. He's got a bend at the knee, which also rotates slightly, and then he's got a ball hinge foot, complete with piston in the back foot section there, just like the original had. Let's just get him to stand properly here. Just like that. We will give him his weapon. Of course, rocket launcher Robocop, we're going to give him a rocket launcher. And we'll just get that put into his hand. And the finished look to give you something that looks like that. And for a display purpose, I'm really going to be keeping this one, this piece attached here. It really gives it that in-game look. An absolutely gorgeous piece. NECA once again has shown that you can really take an existing mold that we've seen in the past, and by giving a new coat of paint, giving you some really neat attachments, you've got yourself a prime candidate for a really cool figure. That's probably going to be the figure that's going to stand in the front of my shelf. I love this piece. Love the games, though it really wasn't. Games could have been better. Let's face facts, the games could have been a lot better. But the transition from game to figure is nailed perfectly. Rocket Launcher Robocop from NECA. I'm going to give it an 8.5. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the NECA Toys Robocop vs. Terminator Rocket Launcher Robocop. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more videos heading your way. We also are going to continue our looks at the Robocop vs. Terminator figures, so those will be heading your way as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.